Hello. For ear-related diseases, there are so many tests which can be done for diagnosis. In that, pure tone audiometry stands the first. This is the commonest first test which is done to come for the ear-related problems. Now, let us go through this. Ear can be divided into three parts. This is the outer ear, this is the middle ear and inner ear. So, the sound energy, it can reach the brain in two different ways. One is through the first system, that is called the air conducting system. The sound energy, it reaches the eardrum first. Because of the vibration of the eardrum, the small ossicles in the three small bones in the middle ear, it vibrates, and this sound is transmitted to the inner ear, where you have the nerves. That is one, that is air conducting system. The second one is not through this. The sound is conveyed through the bones, which is seen here. So the bone, from here the sound energy, it doesn't come through the external ear, it bypasses the external ear, it reaches the middle ear, from there it goes into the inner ear. That is called as the bone conducting system. So in short, for a person, for a normal person, you have two conducting systems for the energy to reach the brain. One is the air conduction, another one is the bone conduction. So why I am talking about this, you will come to know shortly. Now, before going into the details, let me give a small introduction about sound. Sound is a form of energy, as you know. So this sound energy, only a vibrating body can produce sound energy. So this sound has got so many characters. Out of that, the most important three characters are pitch, loudness and quality. Let me explain to you about each in little detail. So the pitch, which is measured in hertz. So see about pitch. Pitch means the number of vibrations per second. So I have told you earlier that sound can be produced only by a vibrating body. So suppose it vibrates about 10 vibrations in 1 second, it means it is 10 hertz. Suppose it vibrates 250 times in 1 second, that means it is 250 hertz. That is pitch. So why is this pitch important for us? I will tell you that. See, here this is a voice box. So in the voice box, inside you have the vocal cords. The movement of the vocal cord produces the sound related and along with the upper airway. Now, in children and in females, the vocal cord is shorter than in males. So, the short vocal cord, the number of vibrations will be more than a lengthier cord. So, what happens? The pitch is more because the vocal cord is short. So, if you see, especially when a child cries or a female, they become irritable, then they shout at you, the pitch is more. And what happens? You get irritated very fast. That is about pitch, and it is measured in hertz. Now coming to loudness. Loudness means, see, when you are in your car and you have the music system and you don't hear it properly, what do? You just increase the volume. Say, for example, I am calling my son, Anaush, and he is not responding. I call him Anaush, I increase my loudness, and it is measured in decibels. So, how do you categorize that? So, complete silence is 0 decibels. If I whisper, it is 30 decibels. Normal conversation is 40 decibels. And motorbike sound is 90 decibels. And aeroplane sound is 120 decibels. So that we have subcategorized, right? So now I have told you about pitch and loudness. Now coming to the last one, that is quality. I will give an example so you will understand better. While I am working in the hospital, suppose my daughter calls me from home. When she utters the first word, hello, that is enough for me to recognize that voice, that it is my daughter calling from home. First word, hello, when she says in the phone, that is enough for me to understand that is my daughter calling from home. So, that sound, that characteristic of her sound, that is quality, is specific for every person. So, if somebody is coming from outside, just by hearing his sound, without seeing the person, we know that such and such person is going to come in. That is the quality. Now, for us in pure tone audiometry, what is important is pitch and loudness. So, once the testing is done, you get a chart like this. In that, you have a x-axis in which it is written pitch, and you have a y-axis in which you have the loudness. So on the left side is low pitch, right side is high pitch, just like a piano. Left side you have low pitch and right side you have high pitch. And the loudness, softness to the loud sound. It starts from -10, it goes up to 120. So this is low frequency and this is high frequency. So hope you understood so far. Now, with the pure tone audiometry, we can find out three things. One is, with pure tone audiometry, we can know what is the type of hearing loss. That means whether it is a conductive hearing loss or it is a bone conduction loss. That which I have already explained to you. The second one is the degree of hearing loss. Degree of hearing loss means it is mild hearing loss, moderate, severe or profound hearing loss. So that let me explain to you once again. See, in this graph, suppose the hearing is about 20 degrees, the line comes within this 0 to 20, that means the person is hearing normal, so his hearing is normal. Suppose the line, it comes between 20 and 40 is mild hearing loss, 40 to 55 is moderate hearing loss, 55 to 70 is moderate to severe hearing loss, 70 to 90 is severe hearing loss, and more than 90 is profound hearing loss. That is the classification of hearing loss. In this you have 2-3 types. This is a common one which is usually followed. Now, how to do the pure tone audiometry? So let us go through that. This is the audiology room. In this audiology room, you have a cabin, soundproof cabin, and the patient will be made to sit inside. And once the cabin is closed, it is soundproof, so no sound will be heard from outside except what we deliver through the machine. So here our technician is going to test both the air conduction and bone conduction with the help of the earphone, and the patient will be given a gadget in a hand, and she will be instructed that whenever she hears a sound in that earphone, she is going to press the gadget. So when she presses the gadget, the technician who is sitting in front of the computer, she will be able to know that, and she starts marking in the computer. So that is how we check, that's how we do pure tone audiometry. So normally this pure tone audiometry is done above the age of 5. That I'll tell you the reason why. Because patient cooperation is very important. Whenever she delivers a sound from here, the patient should hear the sound here and they have to press the gadget. The problem in a child who is less than 5 years is, even if they hear, they are not able to follow the instruction properly. So if they don't press the gadget properly, the technician will not be able to know the degree of hearing loss and the type of hearing loss. That's why normally it is not done below the age of 5. So here, this second ring, this is used for the bone conduction. The first one is used for air conduction. Now, this is a normal graph. Soon after your pure tone audiometry is done, you will get a paper like this. So suppose you have two lines here. If both the lines are above 20 mark, that means your hearing is normal. Suppose one of the lower line comes down, as you see in this picture. That means it is a conductive hearing loss. Means, remember the picture which I have shown you, the ear is divided into 3 parts. The middle part, you have 3 small bones. Suppose if there is a problem in the middle part, middle ear, you will get a hearing, you will get a report like this. So this is conductive hearing loss. Suppose this line also comes down and it overlaps, it falls on top of this line. As you see in this picture, it is called sensorineural hearing loss, reported as sensorineural hearing loss, means the inner ear, there is a nerve problem. The fourth one is, suppose both the line comes down below 20, but there is a gap between these two lines, as you see in this picture. That means it is mixed hearing loss, means there is a problem in the middle ear as well as the inner ear. Now let us go to the next report. Here, if you see, you notice that there is a dip at 2000 level. That means maybe this patient has got otosclerosis, which means in the middle ear there are 3 small bones. The smallest bone is stapes. That's in that stapes bone there is a problem. That is otosclerosis. The patient will have, middle-aged patient will have a history of hearing loss, and usually it can be bilateral. Next one. Now, in this, instead of 2000 dip at 2000 hertz, there is a dip at 4000 hertz. That means there is a history of exposed to high level of sound or noise. Means the patient has been working in a factory or in industries, or maybe he is exposed to high sound of any other way. So this is diagnostic of noise induced hearing loss. See, if you see this graph, there is a gap between the two lines, especially in the low frequency. This is common in children and the diagnosis is otitis media with effusion. Means in the middle ear there is fluid collection. It is not infection, it can be infection, but it is more so in fluid collection in the middle ear, which is diagnosed as otitis media with effusion. This condition is common in children. To confirm this, we have to take an impedance audiometry or tympanometry also, which will be reported as type B curve. Going to the next one, the last one, here you have both the lines sloping down like this. This means it is diagnostic of age related hearing loss. The person is, whatever changes you have in the body because of the age, the same thing changes you have in the ear also. So this is called as presbyacusis, or the new terminology is age related hearing loss. Now this pure tone audiometry has got some disadvantages. Few I have already mentioned. One is, most important is, it cannot be done under the age of 5 years. The reason also I have mentioned. Likewise, it cannot be done in psychiatric patients because they will not be cooperative. Likewise, it cannot be done in those patients who are telling lies. They want a false report, maybe for some medical legal reasons or some other benefit which is specific to them. So in that case, if they are malingering, they will not be pressing the gadget properly and you may have a wrong report. So in short, it means that this test is subjective. It's totally dependent on the patient, on the subject. If they don't cooperate well, this test cannot be done properly. So this is about pure tone audiometry. Thank you so much.